Hi, very good afternoon to you, to the latest episode of Freeworld News. We're going to talk a little bit about this episode. We're going to feature some speculation about what's happening with regard to currency, but also we're going to talk about a bit of the erratic weather which is happening in California, the western part of the USA. So I'm going to start by talking a bit about the euro and the dollar.
Right, okay, well basically this week we've seen the euro hanging from 109 to 108, maybe up to 109.50. So the euro's kind of always seems to pick up a little bit when we have there's problems in China. But the main thing was the way sterling dropped at the start of the week. We got to, I think the weakest we got to was about 104.080, so that's a historical low. I think that goes back all the way to something like 2008. Very weak and probably kind of oversold. It's bounced back today to 143.50. So that's a bit better. Unfortunately, that still leaves a lot of our customers unable to cover their sales in the UK in sterling, not because of commodity prices, but really because of the weakness in the currency. So let's wait and see. I myself am a bit hopeful that sterling will pick up. The euro, I mean, nobody seems to be shouting about parity now for quite a while.
Right.
So that might all be yesterday's spec, but you know, today it's pretty close to 108, and I think the euro seems to be having the spotlight off it. Draghi has said in the last ECB meeting, I think it was Thursday, that there's plenty of room more for quantitative easing. They've got their checkbooks out and ready, so they're willing to pump more money into the economy.
Because the major talking point at the moment in British politics is the in and out question with regard to
the Brexit.
The EU. And David Cameron recently gave a speech to business leaders suggesting that Britain can be part of Europe but not part of Europe at the same time. What he meant by that was that we don't have to have this such a strong political and economic union as we do with the ECB, still negotiate successful trade deals, not dissimilar to a country like Norway.
Yeah, one of the fundamental parts of the EC is, of course, the open border between EC nations, and that's really been attacked by the migrant problem.
Right.
You know, because we've seen various. Austria came out and said that basically it would have to have quotas. And now it looks like Merkel is in quite a marginal position in Germany.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a resistance against this idea of open borders, which is of course fundamental to the posited reason for the existence of the EC, which is basically to prevent another European World War. I mean, how can you have a war if you have an open border?
Sure.
So some pretty fundamental changes, I think, coming up in the EC, and the Brexit stuff really just does fit in there. I mean, that's probably Cameron's biggest problem in terms of the EC is dealing with the migration issue.
Now you can get out of the European Union, but you can't get out of the weather. So what's happening in California right now?
Well, the weather, it's raining, and but the weird thing is that if this was El Nino rain, then you'd expected more of that in the south than the north. Well, in fact, we're getting the opposite. We're getting a lot more rain in the north than the south.
Yeah.
And the newscasters tell us that the reason that's happening is that this is just normal rain. And El Nino, what was the name of El Nino?
The Bruce Lee.
The Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee hasn't arrived yet. He's not in the house yet. And we can look forward to that happening over the next few weeks. So we're expecting a lot more rain. The almonds themselves should be starting to produce the bloom now, the flowers. Another, well, it used to be a very, very important part of the development of the whole crop. You know, you could get the whole thing unseated at the moment, and one of the things that would unseat it would be a lot of rain, because the bees can't fly about and pollinate things. But the whole process of pollination has become a lot more robust in the last few years. We haven't seen a really bad bloom, I think, for about 7-8 years. So I think I don't think this is going to be a bother. I think there is going to be a lot more rain. We do need more snowpack to bring us back to safe levels. The almond market dropped quite considerably.
So if you want to read more about what's happening with the almond market, check out our video we released last week on the December shipment.
Yeah, that's right.
So following that, I mean,
following that, it's firmed. It's firmed. It's gone up. Well, we don't know whether it's stabilized or whether it's on its way up now, but it physically is. You have to bid 278. When we made the last video, we were talking about. Just
for new people watching this, what was the new crop? Did it surpass expectations, or did it?
Well, we're in the stage where 2015, which is the crop we're working off, was actually larger than the objective estimate.
Right.
As soon as the objective estimate was made way back in May, June last year, all the growers said, no, that's much too much. We're at that time of year now where we have the crop receipts, so we have a lot of the crop is in and gathered and counted and all this. And it looks like, in fact, the objective estimate was a sizable underestimate. So we have more almonds than we thought we would.
Right, okay. So for more information on that, you can check out the almond section of the website. We do release Michael Stevens and releases a little review regarding the shipments. So we released that via video format, and you can go on the website for more information about that. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's it really. It's steady as it goes. We're getting a few more sales now. Demand seems to be a little bit back, and there is buying going on now. But severely inhibited by the currency.
Right, okay, so volatile currency continues to ensue.
Right.
So on that note, wish you a good weekend, or wish you a good week, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.